So as a behavioural psychologist, my job is to really not to believe what I read or hear and to go slightly deeper. So you see, we often say one thing, but actually we kind of often mean another. So human decisions are quite dominated by our emotional needs. So how we feel or want to feel can actually outweigh the kind of evidence that we might see in terms of our kind of decisional outcomes. So from an advisor's perspective, when consulting with a client, it tends to be quite a rational, numbers-led discussion. But as psychologists, we tend to go a little bit further than this and try to kind of augment that ability to engage an audience. So we try to unpick the kind of more hidden, often non-conscious kind of factors that influence our decisions. And we can call these kind of non-conscious biases. And most humans have them. And they're quite interesting in terms of, their influence on decisions, particularly financial decisions. So what do they need and what they want to feel or not feel is often, kind of misinterpreted in terms of that numbers-led, evidence-based, statistical-based kind of, I suppose, conversation. So we need to add that more emotional side of things into it. So it's all about the why. And there's a huge disconnect between what people tell you and what they feel. And we know from psychological science that feel impacts behavior probably 4 or 5 times more than numbers. So the psychology of why people do things, or rational versus the emotional brain, is really interesting. And I might say, for example, I want to go to the gym, and then when I go to the gym, they tell me all about the equipment and how great it is and how many calories I might lose and what my cardio will improve to. But I probably might not go because, one, I might feel silly to start with and think that I kind of stand out and people are judging me. So it's a very kind of emotional read on things. And secondly, people who go to the gym are not really my kind of people anyway. So again, emotionally, I'm not feeling in that kind of space. So that's what we kind of add here. And the research from our point of view is really fascinating in terms of that kind of financial decision making and the difference between the pragmatics and the emotional.